Diana from So Very Crafty, and we are here today because it's winter time, and I am going to show you how to make this super simple fleece lined beret. I know I've done a beret on this channel before, but this one is really simple. And it doesn't take but minutes to make. And because it's fleece, it will keep your head nice and warm. And it is really a fun and functional little project to make for the beginner sewist. This is definitely a beginner project. So, how do we go about making this project? First of all, if you like this project, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, ding that bell for notifications, so you can get more sewing and crafting tutorials in your inbox. And if you want many more sewing and crafting tutorials that are not here on the YouTube channel, head over to the website at www.soverycrafty.com, and you will find tons and tons of projects that you won't see here. And if you're a Cricut crafter, head over to my new website, www.paperdaisy.com, for some Cricut crafting ideas for this holiday season and all year long. So now that we have gotten all of that taken care of, how do we make this super simple fleece beret? Let's get started. First of all, you are going to have to make a pattern. And the pattern is very simple. You are going to get a large piece of paper. I use, you know, the paper that you lay on when you're at the doctor's office? That's what I use. I buy that and I make these little pattern pieces out of it. But you can tape a bunch of pieces of standard copy paper together if you want. But you're going to make a circle that's 12 inches in diameter. And the best way to do that is with a large compass. Or if you want, you can use your cutting board and put a pin and some string and go around. But I have a very large compass that helps me to make these things. Now the inner circle, because you're going to cut out an inner circle from this big circle, is going to be the size of your head. And you're going to have to do some mathematical calculations here. And I will put these mathematical calculations in the description section of the video. But for our purposes, you are going to measure your head, divide that number by 6.28, then multiply it times 2, and that's going to be the diameter of the inner circle, so that this beret will fit you perfectly every time. So I'm going to put those calculations in the description section so you don't have to pay attention to them here. Now, once you have this pattern piece with the hole in the middle, it looks like a donut, you are going to cut your fabrics. And all you need for this project are 2 pieces of fleece and 2 pieces of lining fabric. Now I've used Kona cotton here because I love working with cotton. You could use rayon or any other kind of lining fabric if you want. But if you're a beginner, I would really recommend using cotton. It's a lot easier to work with. And from these two pieces of fleece and two pieces of lining fabric, you are going to cut one that's just a circle like this one, and one that's a circle with the hole cut out of the middle, just like that. And you're going to do that for both of these pieces. And then as a little embellishment to the top of our beret, I added this little doodad here that you often see on berets. And for that, I just cut out a little piece of fleece that's about 1/4 inch wide by 2 inches long. So to get started on this, we are going to take our fleece, and there is no right or wrong side for this. So just put them together, and you're going to stitch all the way around using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And that's all there is to creating the outer part of your beret. So I'm going to head over to the sewing machine, and I am going to stitch a 1/4 inch seam allowance all the way around this these circles, and then come back, and I'm actually going to, while I'm over there, going to do exactly the same thing for these lining pieces. So you're going to have two pieces that are stitched together, one of which has the hole in the center. So let's go over to the sewing machine and let's take care of that. So here we are at the sewing machine, and we are just going to stitch our pieces together using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Now I have a 1/4 inch foot on my machine, so I'm just going to place the edge of my presser foot on the raw edge of my fabric and stitch away. Now that that's finished, I'm going to do the same thing for the lining piece. Okay, so that's the lining. Let's head over to the sewing station and let's do our next step. Okay, so here we are back at the workstation, and we have our outer beret and our lining beret. We're going to set our lining to the side, and we are going to fold our beret in quarters like this. I'm going to take this red pen, and I am going to make a mark right here so I can see it, which will tell me the center of my beret. Now I'm going to take my little 1/4 inch piece. I'm going to overlap the ends, and I'm going to hand stitch these two pieces together. Now this is an optional step. If you don't want the little embellishment on the top, you don't need to have it. But I thought it was kind of cute, so I added it to the beret. Okay, so now we have our little doodad stitched together. And now we're just going to stitch it to the top of our beret. And we want to make sure we stitch it to the right side. And that it's in the center mark. And that's all there is to our little doodad at the top. Now we're going to turn our beret right sides out. And as you can see, it is a beret, but we want our beret to be lined. So we are going to take this beret, and the outer beret is going to go inside of the lining beret. And remember that our lining beret is still wrong sides out. So when we put these two together, they are right sides together. And now we can tell the right and the wrong sides because of the seam, where the seam is located. So I'm just going to pin these raw edges together, and we're going to head back over to the sewing machine, and we are going to stitch these two pieces together. Okay, so we have our lining beret and our outer beret right sides together. We're going to stitch all the way around, but we're going to leave a little bit of an opening here so that we can turn this right sides out when we need to. So let's head back over to the sewing machine and stitch around here, leaving our opening. Okay, so here we are again back at the sewing machine. And I am just going to put this lining side up onto my sewing machine, and I'm going to stitch. And remember to remove these pins as you go along. And make sure that these raw edges are lined up, otherwise you're going to have a hole in your beret. Now I have my two pieces stitched together, and I have my opening right here so that I can turn this right sides out. So let's go back over to the workstation and finish up this project. Here we are back at the workstation, and I have my opening in my beret, and I'm just going to simply turn this right sides out. And now you can see we've got the two berets attached. We're going to push the lining into the fleece beret. And if you get a chance, you should press the inside of this so it's nice and neat. But now we have to deal with this opening. And what we're going to do is we are going to stitch this together. We're going to fold under these seams. I'm going to use a couple of clips here. And we are going to use ladder stitch. Now, I am not going to show you how to do ladder stitch on this video. I've done it several times before for you in other videos, and there are tons and tons of videos online that will teach you how to do ladder stitch, to stitch these two pieces together so that they don't show. You're just going to take a needle and thread and hand stitch these two pieces together. It's also called invisible stitch. Once you've done that, you have completed your very easy fleece beret. I had one, now I have two. I hope you enjoyed this project today. It is so simple, only minutes to make. The hardest part is calculating the size, and otherwise it is easy peasy to do. Again, I hope you enjoyed this project today. I hope you'll take it on, give it a try, and wear your beret this winter as a statement to your wardrobe. Make it any color you want. I happen to like this tartan. I thought it was kind of cute. You can also make this out of standard cotton fabric if you like, for a nice summer look as well. So that's it for today. If you like this project, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, ding that bell for notifications, and head over to the website at www.soverycrafty.com and paperdaisy.com while you're at it. And check out all my other sewing and crafting tutorials that you won't see here on the YouTube channel. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed it, and good luck on this very easy beret project. See you all later. Bye.